Hey, what's up? Welcome back to my channel and to a super fun video today. This is like my favorite type of video to film and I'm so excited. But we are going to be reading 3 months of fairyloot books. So I haven't done this in a while. I have quite a few books to get through. I haven't done this in a while, so I'm a little far behind. And I think these books are April, May, and June that we're going to be reading from this year. So let's take a look at what ones we will be reading. So first off, we have In the Lives of Puppets by TJ Klune. So these are, by the way, these are the fairyloot adults, not just their regular subscription. This is something to do about robots and I think a robot falling in love. Then we have The Curse of Saints by Kate Dramas. I think that this is an enemies to lovers type of fantasy book. And Shanghai Immortal by A.H. Chow. This is the one that I know the least about, and yeah, really, I haven't looked into this one at all, so I'm actually not sure. So I like to do these videos every few months just to stay up to date. One, stay up to date with all of the subscription books that are coming into my life, and two, I want to do an evaluation at the end of the year and see which subscriptions I am actually enjoying. So I do, for context, I get fairyloot, YA, and adult. I get Illuminate and Book of the Month. Then I also get like a small one through a local bookstore, and I recently signed up for the Arcane Society. So I have quite a few subscriptions and I find I'm getting so many books in and I really struggle to stay up to date with all of the ones that come in. And I want to make sure that I'm actually paying for something that gives me books that I enjoy. So if at the end of the year I realize that like, okay, I'm getting all of these books from one company, I haven't really enjoyed that many of them, like it might make me really reevaluate if I actually want to keep going forward with them or not. So we will see. We'll see. So we'll see. So far I've only done one installation for the fairyloot books for this year, and I did have very good luck with that one. I enjoyed the majority. I enjoyed all of the books that we read in that installation, so I'm feeling very hopeful, I guess, about fairyloot, and I have a very good feeling that I'm going to enjoy their books throughout the year. I'm really hopeful, at least. And yeah, so I'll be reading all 3 of these books. I'll tell you guys what I think, and hopefully they are incredible. It was time for my very well needed after work Friday coffee run. So a little caramel oat latte and my favorite like oat fudge bar. Perfect thing to propel me until dinner at like 8 tonight because my partner's bringing home pizza. So yeah, perfect thing to propel me for a few hours of reading and hopefully like a very productive evening. So I haven't updated at all on In the Lives of Puppets, and I'm 170 pages in, which I think is almost 50% because I think it's about 400 pages. Just again, beautiful edition, stunning, gorgeous. We love her. This is one that I have not updated anything on yet because I think I've been really struggling to decide what I feel about it. And when I'm thinking back of the TJ Klune books that I've loved in the past, all of them have this like really strong found family element, and they're all very heartwarming and something that's just like they bring this love of people who maybe feel like they don't fit in their lives. They find something to really attach them to love, really attach them and like bring lots of love into their life. And this does have some of those elements, but it's a little weird. And like I love my weird books. I love them. This one, it's just something about it is not fully clicking for me. So we're following this human man named Victor who's rescued by a robot, and they live in this like intense treehouse set in the woods together. So we don't really know much about the human society, but it kind of sounds like it's been overrun by robots, and the majority of them just have like very simple programming that they have to follow. But Victor's father is an inventor. He is a robot, but he somehow got free of this like programming that was instilled in him, and he went off to live by himself in this jungle, in this forest, and realized at some point that all that was missing in his life was like companionship, and that he was really lonely. And that's when the baby came along, some humans who were fleeing robots and just like handed it off to him, and he's raised Victor ever since. They have 2 other robots with them who were like reclaimed like from this junkyard that they go to get items. They found a Roomba who they have as like their silly little companion, and then there's a nurse bot who is like taking care of them all, but she's very like, something about her internal processes are messed up and she's very sociopathic. So where we are right now, Victor was going through this junkyard and he came across a robot who was like damaged, and he decided to take him home decided to take him home and repair him. So that's basically exactly where we are right now, is they brought home this robot that they found and they're trying to figure out what his purpose was and how he's going to fit into their lives, I guess. So it's okay, like it's really okay, and I feel like we haven't really gotten into anything yet that could like make this outstanding or make me really care about the characters or anything, and I'm kind of struggling with that because so far it's very okay and I'm not really feeling anything. And I think it's going to be, again, like this found family kind of like love and like them. I'm not sure if it's a love story between Victor and this new robot or what, but yeah, like I'm not really sure where it's going, and I'm just not sure, I guess. This is apparently inspired by the adventures of Pinocchio, and I'm really not sure where that fully comes in. I think it might be the actually I don't know where that is coming from, and I don't fully understand where the puppet thing is because so far it's just robots. So I don't know, I'm gonna keep reading and see how I feel. So I did finish off reading In the Lives of Puppets, and I'm just really, really disappointed in this one because like all of the other books by TJ Klune that I've read, I've really loved, and I found like all of them had such like a heartfelt time and like just really emotional in certain ways, and just like they really, really like, I don't know, I really felt something when I read them, and this one just didn't do it for me. So we are following, like, it's a world where robots have taken over, and we are following a human who has been raised by robots, and we're following this like journey of him trying to save his father and also like reconcile, I guess, his place in the world and what humanity means and all of this, and kind of like figure out more about the world that he's in. And just something about it didn't work for me. It had, I can tell, like a lot of these messages that you're supposed to like really feel, and I think just the fact that it was like a bit too heavy-handed, that it just really didn't hit that same way. And also, so we had a lot of like side characters who were supposed to be very funny, and they all just had like these like silly little personalities, and none of that really worked for me either, because I felt it was just like, it was too silly, and parts of the story were trying to be too heartfelt. Like the story itself was just kind of boring. So like this really didn't work for me, and I'm really, really disappointed because this was one of my more anticipated books of the year. Yeah, I'm really, really upset that this wasn't that great for me. So I am gonna give it a 3-star because there was nothing like overly wrong, and I did in some ways enjoy it. It just like didn't do anything special. So book 1 is done. Now we're moving on to The Curse of Saints by Kate Dramas, and I've already read 50-ish pages of this one. There's the edition, it's just like a little ombre. This is like, I believe, an enemies to lovers story, and we're in this world where I'm honestly not sure that much of it yet, but people have certain abilities. There's something to do with these saints and gods who have been, I think, like sent out of the world. It's still like a little bit too early on to really get a sense of this world, but there are different magic, a bunch of different magic users. Our main character is the Queen's third, so she's like the spy master to the Queen, and I believe the love interest is going to be the Queen's, so he's like the Queen's second, and he's kind of like her I don't know, general or just like her day-to-day person who helps her run the kingdom. But the two of them they definitely have this enemies relationship, and I'm really getting the sense that they are going to be the enemies to lovers. But yeah, I'm like this artwork makes it look like it's going to be very interesting, so I am hoping that I'll like it. I hope that the romance is good. So far though, just like I'm a little confused about this magic system, and I'm really confused about, like, it sounds like there is something to do with gods that have gone away, or like there's certain magics that are like people immediately get killed if they are caught using them. So I'm really not sure yet, but I am hoping that this will be like a good fantasy romance. So this one, like, it didn't work for me either. It had a lot of, like, the premise sounded very promising, and I was really, really going into it hoping that we'd have this, like, really fun enemies to lovers type romance, and that would just be super interesting, super fun, super action-packed, and, like, didn't deliver. So this is an adult book, but for some reason it felt, like, incredibly young. And all of the characters, they're, like, supposedly generals, spy masters, like, enforcers for the queen, like, all of these things, but yet for some reason they all just, like, felt like teenagers. Like, there were supposedly these people in these crazy high positions, but none of them seemed to be in any way qualified. And, like, the decisions that they were making were just so stupid, and it really is, like, it made absolutely no sense for the positions that they were actually in, and, like, none of them seemed, like, in any way, like, smart or anything. I felt like all of the characters were just, like, very sadly one-dimensional, so we didn't really get nearly as much from them that I was hoping. And even now, like, I don't think I could describe any of their personalities, because they all just kind of, yeah, felt like they melded together and there was nothing really interesting happening with them. Then just, like, it felt there were so many parts of the book that were very info dumpy, and yet I'm still kind of confused about the magic system. There's all this political stuff going on, but none of it was actually interesting, and I couldn't get into it. I couldn't get behind what was happening, and I just couldn't really care that much about any of it because it was just so, like, flat. Like, every part of it was flat, unfortunately, and I'm really, really disappointed because, I don't know, just here I am judging it based on the cover. I thought this looked like it was going to be very fun, so I am super disappointed, and I really was hoping, yeah, another one that I was hoping I'd like, but this was not it by any means. And it's going to be like 2.5-ish stars, so I'll round up to a 3, but I didn't like it, and I feel very, very disappointed by that. And especially, so now 2 books in a row this video that are both 3 stars, and yeah, doing these videos really, really makes me rethink my subscriptions, because yeah, it just, like, really makes me evaluate whether or not I should be getting them, because as much as I love getting these, like, special editions and stuff, I really think I need to be more liberal with my skipping a month option, because I never skip months, and, you know, like, I really should actually look at the descriptions. Well, this one and the last one I would have looked at the descriptions and taken it anyways, but I should really be, like, a little more liberal about canceling the ones that I don't actually want to read. So I don't know, I'm disappointed. I'm feeling very, very sad about this. And now that this one's done, we are going to be getting into the last book, which is Shanghai Immortal by A.H. Chow. And this one, so there's, like, this immortal city, or immortal realm, I guess, that where all the demons and other types of monsters live, and it's, like, connected to our world, but just, like, on a different plane of existence. And we are following a half vampire, half kitsune, I believe. Yeah, she's half vampire, half fox spirit, and she is indentured to the King of Hell. I have started reading a little bit of it, and I do think this is going to be pretty interesting. Like, the world building is very interesting so far, and it could be a very fun, like, urban fantasy type book. My only issue is that the main character her voice is so annoying. Like, she sounds young. She sounds very young and complainy, and, like, adding all of this, like, sass and, like, stuff in that's supposed to, I think, make her more interesting, but it's really just annoying. But I'm feeling very hopeful about this one, because so far I'm liking the world, and, like, I'm not super far into it at all, but so far I'm really liking the world building. So I'm feeling hopeful that maybe one of these books I will like. I'm giving it a 4-star. If we are being very, very honest with ourselves, it's a 3.5, maybe a 3, but yeah, 3.5 rounding up to a 4 is what we're gonna say. Was this great? But it was very entertaining, especially compared to the other reads that I did in this video. And honestly, for that reason alone, this one's a win. The others ones felt like such absolute failures, and I was just so disappointed in the other reads that I'd had, but this one was fun. And, you know, sometimes that is all it takes for me to give a book a good rating. So in this one, we're following a lady of hell, and she's going on this adventure with a mortal, and she is basically like acting as his guardian on behalf of the king of hell, and they go on this like little adventure together to try and figure out this conspiracy about maybe who's acting against this mortal, and in that vein, acting against the king of hell because he's working on his behalf. It was honestly the motives of a lot of the characters were a little confusing, and a lot of it honestly wasn't very logical in the motives of why certain things were happening, but it was a very fun adventure, and we got to see like the immortal Shanghai world was so cool, because that is where like all of the demons, the celestials, all of these different types of magical creatures live. And then at one point they do make this journey over to the mortal Shanghai, which was taking place in the 1930s, and that was just very fun to see as well. Our main character does go on like a pretty decent personal journey where she kind of realizes that she needs to grow up a lot more, and comes to face like a lot of the demons the personal demons that she's been living with, and just figure out her place in the world, because that is a big thing of she spent 100 years in hell as the ward of the king of hell, and just really doesn't know where she fits in the world and what she's doing. So I thought it was fun. It was very, very fun, and that's like really all I can say about it, is that it was fun. I thought, yeah, it was just a fun world, interesting time, interesting journey. So with that, I have now read 3 months of my fairyloot adult books, and I have to say I'm a little disappointed. I'm a little disappointed this time around. The first episode of this like series that I did, I rated all of the books pretty highly. Like I think I had multiple 4 stars, and it's very disappointing to see that I have 2 3s and a 4. And again, just like it's making, every time I do this, it makes me reevaluate these subscriptions and reevaluate whether or not I should be getting them. So again, even if I'm looking at it like, so part of why I get it obviously is because I like these exclusive editions. I like the sprayed edges. So this is a very, very pretty edition, and sprayed edges on this one, they're okay though. So I don't remember what the original cover is. If I remember, I'll pop it up here, but is that worth it for paying however much I do for this book? Is it worth it just for this cover and edges? I don't know. And then same with this one. The cover is super pretty, and I'll pop up the original one, which I think is super boring, but then these edges, they're pretty, but they're nothing that spectacular. And when we're looking to, this is the biggest deviation from the original cover, and I think I like this one a lot because of that, and these are super pretty. But is getting a special edition worth it if I don't necessarily love the book? I don't know. Yeah, again, I don't really have any answers of, is the subscription worth it for me? Maybe. So far I'm on the edge of, I'm on the fence. I don't know if it is. I don't know if this is a good way to be spending my money. I don't know if this is necessarily worth it. So I will be having 2 more editions of this series before the year's out. The next one will be up in the next few weeks, and then probably one again at the end of December, because I'm going to try to read all of the books that I've gotten this year and just get through them. But keep an eye out for that, and then maybe by the end of this year we will reevaluate my choices and see if I actually think that this is worth it. So as always, please subscribe if you haven't already. I would love to have you here, and I have a lot of fun videos coming up, so please keep your eye out, and hopefully you will have a wonderful day.